Hey there everyone, welcome back to Jimothy Listens. My name's Jimothy and Queendom is over. Queendom 2 is done. And so I thought, since my other two Queendom videos got a lot more attention than I was expecting, I thought, let's talk about the final. Similar to last time when I ranked all of the performances from the entire show, we're gonna go through the final and I'll give you my thoughts on each performance, why I like them, don't like them, blah blah blah. I also did record my reactions on the night to the performances and to the announcement of the winner, so I'll show you those as well. Although, warning, I had my lights in, cinematic mode, so it doesn't look, you can't see my pretty face as well, they look a bit more like this. But we can deal with that. So with that, let's just get started. Let's get into it. So the first thing I'm actually going to talk about is the winner. Now, as you probably know by now if you're watching this, Queendom 2 was won by WJSN, Ujusonyo Cosmic Girls, whatever you want to call them. And this is a decision that surprised me. You can see my reaction to the announcement here. I don't even want to look at the chat. Oh, Exy. What a surprise. I'm so happy for them. Let's take a quick look at the chat. Flops, rigged, 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 flops, rigged, robbed. This is homophobic. I mean, they deserve it. They've been working so hard for years and years. Of course Ujusonyo are gonna win. Subin is the main character of life. So yeah, I was shocked. I fully saw it going to LOONA. I thought they had it in the bag. I thought the orbits had turned out in strength, and I was pretty convinced that LOONA were going to be taking home the crown. And I would have definitely been okay with that. Though, that being said, I'm also super happy with WJSN winning. I think they're a very talented group. They're a group that has been doing good stuff for, 6 years now and kind of doesn't have as much to show for it as I feel like they should. So I'm very happy to see a title like this go to them. I think they pulled out some amazing performances in this show, especially their pantomime performance, which, gorgeous. Gorgeous, amazing, but the rest of their performances were great too. I'm not unhappy with the result at all, even if I was a little surprised. I know other people are quite unhappy with the result, which I mean was gonna happen if anyone but LOONA won, but I'm not gonna go too much into that whole mess, but just like, if you're someone who's getting angry and getting into fights on the internet with people about the result of a TV show, go outside. I'm not even saying you're wrong. It's Mnet. Wouldn't be too surprised if they're up to shady business. But really, at the end of the day, like, who cares? Take a walk. Go hang out with your friends. Go to a cafe or something. Just like, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not worth getting into fights with other people on the internet about. Were WJSN my first choice at winner? No. In fact, I can show you where my vote went on the night. Alright, is it time to vote? I don't know who to vote for. We'll watch the highlights. Okay. Let me see this and I'll make my decision after that. Okay, I think I know who I'm voting for. Oh my god. Let me vote. Containing a boat. No. Why do they only give you that long to... I mean, you saw who I wanted to vote for. I was giving it to LOONA. I'm so sorry, Orbits. If LOONA lose by one vote, I will never show my face again. Oh no, the Orbits are gonna blame me now. I'm sorry, Orbits. I'm sorry. I swear the one vote wouldn't have made a difference. Please release the numbers, Mnet. Okay, so firstly, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Orbits, but I want to say I don't think my vote would have made a difference, but I intended to vote for Loona, so that counts for something, right? I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me. Please don't, just ravage my channel. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so that happened. I can't believe. Okay, you can blame me all you want, but let me just say the fact that Mnet only gives you about 3 minutes after the last performance to put in the vote, ridiculous. As you could see, I actually wanted to vote for the performance that I thought was the best. So I was like, I'll watch them all. The last performance finished, I went, who do I want to vote for? They went, oh, here, have a recap of all 6 performances. And I went, wonderful, that will help me make my mind up. I watched the recap and I went, I think I know who I want to vote for. And then they went 5, 4, 3. No, that's not how that works. You don't go, hey, here's a recap of all of the performances so you can see who you want to vote for. Too late. No, you give the recap and then you go, wonderful. Here you have a few minutes to put your vote in and then you close it. Mnet. I know a lot of people have beef with Mnet for different reasons at the moment, but that's my beef with Mnet. Why would you do that? Why? Okay, anyway, moving on. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the winner. I actually, from my rankings, I've kept this going. You feel free to pause and look deeper into this if you want, but basically going into the final, I had 3 teams actually tied for first place with WJSN just a point behind. So really, it was anyone's game going into the final. I really, was excited to see what would happen. And I didn't know who I was going to be supporting or voting for. So, with that being said, let's get into the performances themselves, starting with my least favourite performance of the night, and that is Brave Girls' Whistle. My reaction to this performance looked a little something like this. Let's go. I love the colours of the outfits. This is fun. This is cute. I'm into it. I love the strong wind machine. Cute. Super cute. Give me fireworks. There we go, thank you. That was fun. This was a fine performance. I thought it was quite a bit of fun. I think actually it was probably my third favourite Brave Girls performance of the competition. It wasn't final worthy. It was just a fun little summer bop. Liked it. It was cute. Don't really have too much to say about it, honestly. That was something that we could see them just like having as a comeback. That song with that kind of routine, maybe with a few less props, could just show up on like a music show. It was nice, but not exactly final worthy. And I don't really have too much to say about it other than that. So we're going to move on to Hyolyn's performance. Now, if you've seen my other Queendom videos, I'm not a big Hyolyn fan. I think she's consistently pulled out the same performance over and over again, where she kind of has a cool idea and like a cool look and vibe, but doesn't actually do anything with it. And this was basically more of that. My first reaction to this performance went a little bit like this. Let's go. Hyolyn's stage. I mean, it looks cool and it sounds cool, but does it actually mean anything? I'm sure to her it does. The costumes are nice. I mean, you can really see why she's called Careers Beyonce, because she basically just tries to do exactly what Beyonce does with her performances. It's now the time to say that I'm also not really a big Beyonce fan either. That was a nice moment, sort of the bringing it in to explode it again. I've seen this performance from 14-year-olds, which is fine sometimes. I'm not saying every performance needs to be intricate and, ridiculous. I'll finish that thought in a second. She's great. She also just has more stage presence. I love a good racing platform. Anyway, like I was saying, not every performance needs to be a big, intricate, something you're I could never do that. Okay, the fall was kind of cool. I know that I hated Cherry's fall in Butterfly, but that was kind of cool. Sorry, to finally finish this thought. When the performance is this and you're going for big, when it's super just simple, it kind of loses a little bit of the effect. But don't get me wrong, this is easily Hyolyn's strongest performance of the whole show. Giving herself the crown because the crowd won't. And it's a nice crown. Young just... Yeah, so I liked it. I think it's Hyolyn's best performance. I actually kind of... I know I said that, but in hindsight, I'm not sure whether I'd put this or Touch My Body higher. I think I'm kind of leaning towards Touch My Body, but it's pretty close. Definitely one of Hyolyn's better performances from the competition. I thought that it looked great. The sort of gold on everything had a great look to it. But really, for me, the highlight of this performance was Youngji. I think she's an amazing performer. I had no clue who she was before this, but I think she had great stage presence, great delivery, great energy, and really, outshone Hyolyn, and was definitely the best part of the performance. Overall, it was another Hyolyn performance. So if you like that, then, you probably liked this. But for me, who wasn't even really feeling it in round one, it was just another Hyolyn performance. Moving on. Now, the next two, my third and fourth, are that close. I really had a hard time splitting them. In the end, I've put fourth place for WJSN, but only slightly. They really could have easily gotten a third. Now this is the song I was actually least impressed with when they were released. Fortunately though, the performance did bring it up quite a bit. My initial reaction looked a bit like this. I really hope this is good. Let's go WJSN, give it to me. Drones. Okay, that's cool. Oh, that's fucking sick. Hang on a second. I don't think you can see my face because it's too dark, but I'm just in shock. Tasty. Nice. That intro slaps. It's cool choreography. And then this is the problem. The chorus is just not big enough. Yeah, those dynamics of that hit and pause are one of the coolest things of the song. You need to be doing more on that. Like I said, I love a rising platform. Give me something at the end. It's just... go further. Take it further. Make it bigger. Take it higher. You're so close. Group vocals are delicious though. It's giving As You Wish. I've been mean to it, but I think this is a really good performance. I just wish it went further. So, as you can see, I actually really quite like this performance. The intro is spectacular. The intro to this performance was phenomenal. The drones, just orbiting around Solar. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Absolutely loved it. The song itself actually worked quite well for the first half of that kind of build, or at least pretending it's gonna build. The choreography was quite sort of unique and fit the vibe really well, especially bits like that first verse when Xy's coming forward and there's that bit with the stop and bounce and then kind of a few different shapes and stuff. I think it was interesting and not just your standard kind of fare that you see in everything. Obviously the performances of the members were great. WJSN knows how to put on a show. Really, the only negative about this performance, and the reason it's not any higher, is kind of what I expected when I first heard the song, and that's just it doesn't really reach a high enough peak. Considering this is the finale, things need to be going all out, and the fact that this really only kind of makes it up to I think I said in my reaction, about a 70% kind of energy level. It's just, I just wish there was more. I just wish it gave a little bit more towards the end, Other than that, I think everything that they did display was gorgeous and immaculate. I just wish they had have brought a tiny bit more. So from there we move on to our third place, which again, very, very close to Aura, really just splitting hairs, and that is Viviz Red Sun. This was my favorite finale song when they were released by far. I think the song is immaculate, and so I was very excited for this performance. My initial reaction went a little bit like this. Let's just get into it. I'm so excited for Viviz. Give it to me. Give me everything. Immediately. It's so cute. I love the way the dresses twirl there. The song is just so good. Cute, like that moment. just little character moments and stuff are really nicely done. Oh, it's staged so well. It's so fluid, which matches the song, because I was saying that about the song as well, that it just like moves and like flows really nicely. The performance matches that. Let's go. Give me like a huge thing for the finish. So, as I said, I love the song, and you could see there, I thought the performance was great. Why is it only just there with WJSN? That's because I was lying to myself on the night. This performance was a little bit disappointing, and it's been, you know, after a couple of days, I can admit that this was not what I was hoping it would be. I think really this performance, for me at least, was hurt by the fact that the song was released in advance, because the song, A, is easily the best part of the performance, and also it kind of hinted at a very grand and huge scale thing which wasn't quite delivered. Partly it has to do with the fact that that finale stage was pretty small. Like, easily that was a smaller stage than we've seen on the rest of the show so far. What was I saying? Yeah, the stage being quite small, I don't think really helped Viviz that much, because they couldn't make it feel as big as I think it kind of needed to be. I think the set was quite limited, like they really only had that tree, and then everything else was kind of just bits of, you know, other things that kind of came in and out. I think that's the other thing. The song is amazing, and one of the things I really liked about the song is how it really just kept sort of shifting and like changing dynamics and stuff, and with the performance track kind of going along and matching that, which is obviously what you want to do. You want the performance to match the song, but it meant that anything that was introduced, any sort of ideas, didn't really stick around for long enough to have a real effect. It kind of just came in, you went, oh, that's cool, and then it left and something else came in. And so obviously there are a lot of cool moments in this performance, things that I like quite a bit, and the song is still easily the best. What are you doing? The best out of the 6, but the performance itself just didn't quite live up to what I was hoping, which is why it's kind of 3rd/4th with WJSN. So from here, moving on to my 2nd place, which is, oh, not that, which is LOONA. Now, I know you're like, didn't you just show us footage before of you trying to vote for LOONA because you thought it was the best? At the time, yes. In the few days since, and since I've watched them again, it's close. Don't get me wrong, Orbits, please don't hate me. I still think this is a phenomenal performance, but there's something about Kepler, and I'll talk more about it when we get to it. So LOONA's coming in 2nd. It's a very close 2nd, and I still think this is an immaculate performance. In fact, you can see, you know, my reactions to it were like this. Oh, let's go. It's pose time. Let's go ahead, you. Oh, yes. Yep. Yeah. Oh, that kick. Nice. Smooth. Okay, the, you know, hip-hop and top rock there was a bit shaky, but still looked great. Don't worry about it. Give me a wide shot. I want to see all 12 of them. Thank you. Yeah, the chorus is underwhelming, like in the song. Hey, let's go to breaking. That was tight. Give me more breaking. Yeah, no. Okay, that's fun. Eve. Oh yeah, push it further. Love a rising stage. It can't end here. You need more. Good. Because the song is short as hell, but I'm glad they've given us more. Tiny on space there. I'm not saying anything, I just really like this. Yeah. That's a damn good performance. So yeah, I thought this was a damn good performance. I think it's a great concept. I love that They didn't just go, hey, let's do something sort of tough. We want to do like a boy group like performance. They went, no, we want to do that style, but we need a story to kind of wrap it up in. I think it would have been very easy for them to just go, here's the kind of style we want to do, and then just do that. Kind of like a Hyolyn performance where you go, here's the vibe we're going for, and then just chuck that in. They went, here's the vibe we want to do. What are we actually trying to say to have that vibe? And so they actually had the kind of storyline of the 12, bad girls getting rough and a bit rascally and, not taking any shit. Like, it was cool. It was very cool. I like how they really made the group feel like a crew or a posse. Like, it didn't feel like, hey, here's a performance of 12 people. It felt like, here's our crew going around causing a ruckus. The way they kind of like split off into different pockets and were doing different things, and you saw a lot of them kind of like in pairs and doing stuff around the place, I think really worked to have the feeling of like this group had just busted into this place where they weren't meant to be and spread out and caused chaos. The actual performance itself obviously was great too. I think while the song itself didn't impress me a lot when we first heard it, they definitely made it a lot better for this performance with the kind of addition of new layers and like extending it to be a bit longer and stuff. I think that worked a lot better. And then also just with the live performance, hearing those sort of loud shouts in the chorus a lot louder than that really annoying dum 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 loop that I just don't like. The fact that the shouts were the focus, I think made it a lot just nicer to listen to and a lot more fun. And then, yeah, it was just cool. The choreography, there wasn't as much cool choreography as I was hoping for. As, a hip-hop street dancer myself, I was really hoping for them to kind of really get into that, and it kind of wasn't there as much as I would have liked. Like, they showed them practicing breaking, and really the only breaking part that I noticed was Kim Lip doing a tiny little bit of footwork in one of her parts. That's not to say that there wasn't more. They might have been doing stuff on the side. I don't know. I didn't see it, so I'm not counting it. And then the rest of the choreography was kind of simple, but like still very effective. So I'm not, docking points for choreography or anything, just because I think they could have gone a little bit harder, especially towards the end. But to contrast that, what the simple choreography kind of really allowed them to do was just show a lot of personality, which is more important anyway. Makes it a lot more interesting than just them being like, oh, we have to all look exactly the same. It's like, no, these are 12 individual characters who each have their own personalities on the stage. It makes it just a lot more dynamic to watch. I think really, at the end of the day, kind of like the opposite about what I said about Butterfly, which I wasn't a huge fan of, in that it was the fine idea kind of just executed a bit sloppily. I think this was a great idea that was executed very, very well. So easily, like, one of the best performances of the night, probably one of the best performances of the show. I don't know if I would quite put this on Shake It level. In fact, I don't think I would, but it's close. It's damn close. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then moving on to what ended up being my favorite performance of the night, and that's Kepler's The Girls. This... Here's my reactions. Let's go, Kepler! Oh, I'm so excited for this. This is gonna slap. Ooh, that was nice. The pyro immediately, yes! Oh, they literally just said, we are throwing everything we have into this performance. I was so excited. Let's go. Already so many things are going on. Look at Hikaru. Youngin! Oof. Oof, Youngin. That looks nice. Ooh. That's really cool, Kari. Those little isolations there, that's nice. Shouting, hottest person on the planet. The rising stage, of course. This slaps. This is just incredible. That Kari is so much fun. Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. This feels like a victory lap. This rocks. And yeah, like with the song, I like how each drop has a different feel. It means they can just like keep sort of showing new things. the rising stage. Oh. Gonna be honest, the dance break not as strong as it could have been, but still very nice, and I like the way they used the stage. I like that. The boys just having to run around to put the chairs down. Jaehyun! Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. 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 What a performance. Where do I even start with this one? Let's start with the performance of the girls themselves. Like I said when I was talking about the boys from round 3, Kepler are some of the most intense and like hungriest performers on the stage. They look like they're putting the most effort in out of all of the teams, which sometimes can be a bad thing, but when they're this talented, it just means that they literally just throw like a shockwave of energy into the audience. It's phenomenal to watch, and it's that, you know, rookie energy, I guess, but they really just put absolutely every fiber of their being into the performance, from the dancing to the singing to just the body language and expressions. Everything was just tight. And then the song itself, I think, not only is a banger, but also was kind of put together very cleverly. That's one of the things about this stage, apart from just being like an amazing stage. I think behind the scenes, it was actually crafted incredibly thoughtfully in a way that isn't immediately obvious. Like the song, I said this when I first listened to it, each of the drops is different. It's something that seems obvious but isn't done a lot. Like if you look at, I think, Waka Boom, which is a similar kind of just big style, each of the drops in that, each of the choruses sounds exactly the same. Whereas with the girls, the first chorus is a kind of a bit more of an anti-drop. It feels like it's going to build and then suddenly takes the tone down a bit and gets a bit cooler. And then for the second chorus, it introduces these bouncing electronic sounds that not only are a new sound, but also add in a different texture and accent for the movement to be on, allowing them to do something different for the second chorus. And then the final drop is huge, explosive. You have Chaehyun's high notes, you have extra layers in the mix, as well as, again, being new textures to match with movement and everything. It makes it feel like the performance has gone somewhere from start to beginning, from start to end, rather than just staying in one place the whole time. It's a very simple thing, but it makes a huge difference in the performance. And then the final thing that makes this performance so phenomenal, I think, is the staging. The use of the stage in this performance, really nice. Things like, similar to what I was saying with LOONA, having a lot of different things going on with different members that you can sort of whip the camera around to make it feel a lot bigger than just sort of being on the one stage the whole time. And then just other little things, like in the first verse, when we're focused on, I can't remember who it is, and then the camera turns around and you've got Bahie and shouting and someone else, and we're sort of looking out to the audience, which is a nice little thing you sort of can't always do if you have just sort of a normal stage going into the audience, and especially on a TV show where you'll have lots of like production equipment and stuff, you can't always turn the camera around. But in this kind of more enclosed set where there was still stage behind that, it's something that you can do, and it still looks quite good to have that camera turn around, be on members there, and then that also allows you to, while the camera is facing the back, you can change the things on the main stage so that when it turns back around, suddenly there's something different there, like, for example, Chaehyun and a bunch of chairs. Then things like, for, I think it's Youngin's bit in the like second verse, just raising that little raised platform up a little bit, which gives an extra bit of level, gives an extra bit of height, and therefore sort of raises the scale of the performance. But not doing it all the way means that you still have that to use later, like they do for the dance break, where they bring it up all the way. If they had have just brought it up, you know, all of the way, or even like halfway for that second bit, it would feel a little bit cheaper doing the same thing again for the dance break, but just raising it up a little bit, giving that extra height and scale, but not ruining it for later. just nice little clever things. And this performance is just full of those. Just a bunch of really well thought out bits of staging that just elevate this to an insane level, and to a level where really I would say that like it's a perfect, flawless performance. I have no quarrel with this performance at all. Even the other things I haven't talked about, like the styling, I think all of the members looked phenomenal. Like Hikaru's little goggles on her head and Youngin's like wet hair looked great. The effects of like the pyro, like the flames at the front of the stage that they used at the start and the end. Things like the ending, bringing out that bigger set, having more dancers lined up and doing a little bit of like a tutting section. Again, just constantly throwing new ideas in there that feel fresh. It's like a performance that keeps one-upping itself. Like it starts off balls to the walls crazy. In the first like 10 seconds of the performance, you have that pyro, you have someone doing like a flip off one of the dancers, you have Hikaru being carried in on someone's shoulder, and then from there it just continues to like outdo itself. This is almost like the definition of like a grand final performance. Like this is the baseline for like, oh, this is the grand final. Here's what we need to do. And they crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. It's just a phenomenal performance. Just a phenomenal performance all round. Absolutely loved it. Well done, Kepler. Can't wait for your comeback later this month. So yeah, that's my thoughts on all of the finale performances. If we go back to my little numbers here, you can see that in the end, I'm giving double points for the finale because I think, it's the finale as you should. That ends up LOONA overall were my favorite team. I think they deserved the win, but that being said, I don't mind the fact that WJSN won. I wouldn't have minded any of them winning except for Hyolyn. And maybe if Brave Girls won, I would have been like, did they really deserve it? But I still liked them, so I would have been okay with it. So before Orbits come and, get mad at me, I had LOONA in first. I voted for them, or at least tried to. Please don't yell at me. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Stick around now that Queendom's done. Don't just be like, oh, I only watched this kid for the Queendom stuff. Stick around. I'm going to be doing more things, music related, K-pop related. June's going to be a big month for K-pop, and I'm going to try and cover as much of it as I can. And then, I would like to try and cover other things because I don't just listen to K-pop exclusively, but that's the stuff that gets the views. So maybe, we'll see. I don't know. But, stick around, like, comment, subscribe, all of the YouTube things. Love you. Catch you next time. Bye.